Welcome to 5 Minutes of Coherence, a series of short videos where we explore various topics related to Oracle Coherence. I'm Tim Middleton, software engineer with the Coherence development team here at Oracle, and today we're going to cover how Coherence integrates with some popular Java microservice frameworks including Helidon, Spring and Micronaut. We'll cover a few slides and then show a demonstration. Microservice frameworks like Helidon, Spring Boot and Micronaut do a lot of the heavy lifting for developers. They provide opinionated runtimes, in other words, strong defaults and conventions, so you can focus on writing business logic instead of boilerplate setup. They also come with built-in dependency injection containers, which makes it easier to wire up components like services, clients, and configurations without manually managing lifecycles. They also have powerful configuration systems, typically YAML or properties-based, that support profiles, environment, overrides, and seamless secrets handling, perfect for cloud-native apps. Coherence makes it easy to integrate with these frameworks, providing access to powerful coherence features, including automatic bootstrapping of configuration of coherence, injection of various resources, including caches, event listeners, cache stores, topics, publishers, subscribers, and much more, response caching and session management, integration with observability frameworks and open tracing, Spring data, Microsoft data, and HTTP sessions, integration with other microservice frameworks by using the generic Coherence CDI support. We'll now show a demo using our command line tool, the CLI, to quickly create a starter project to show integration with these frameworks. The example implemented in each framework is based on a simple customer object and provides several JAX-RS endpoints to create, update, retrieve, and delete customers within a Coherence cache. We've also defined event listeners to respond to all or specific events. This will hopefully give you a good starting point from which to explore more. We have the Coherence CLI installed, which provides comprehensive management and monitoring of coherence through the command line. We're going to use one of the new experimental features where it can create starter projects for us. So if we use the help command here, you can see the create starter can create Maven projects for us, and we can use Helidon, Spring Boot or Micronaut. What I'm going to do now is use CoCTL to create a starter. CoCTL, create starter project, and we'll call this Spring Boot app, and we'll use the framework Spring Boot. So it checks availability for that, downloads it, and then creates a starter project for you. So we go to Spring Boot app project. Let's open it up. What we can see here, we've got a standard Maven project. It's created the POM for us. It's using the Spring Boot starter parent there. And also we're setting the Coherence version, a couple of other things, and Coherence Spring Boot starter, which is our integration. We can also see within the resources, we've got a standard Spring Boot properties. Within Java, we've got a customer object which we're going to store in our cache, and it's using a portable type annotation, which means we automatically generate the serialization, so there's no code required here. We have the demo application, and then we have the demo controller. So if we look in here, we can see we've got our API customers endpoint. We've got our named cache, which has a key of integer and a value of customer. And in our constructor for the demo controller, we've got the Coherence cache annotation, which means that'll be injected at runtime. Then we've got our mapping. So we've got a get mapping to get all customers, so it returns the values from the cache. We've got a post mapping, which will create us a new customer and then put it in the cache. And then we've got a get mapping with an ID, which will return an individual customer or a 404 error, and then a delete mapping with an ID, which will delete a customer. We've also got Coherence event listeners, so this allows us to listen for events on the particular cache. So here we can use the inserted annotation to listen for insert events on this cache, and in this case we're just outputting it, but you can do any processing you would like. So on updating the customer's cache, we're going to output the ID and the new value and the old value. We're also going to output the deleted customer if someone deletes a customer, and we can refine this even further where we create a where filter so that we're only going to call this event handler when the balance is greater than 5,000. So let's start this up. So I create a new terminal. Let's look at the README here. All we have to do is run maven clean install. We've got JDK21 on the path. And then to run the process, that will create your Spring application, and it also bootstrap coherence in the process. Let's add another terminal here now. So let's create a new customer. So let's create Tim. Click on Post here. If we go back to the Spring Boot application, we can see the event listener has fired here. And if we do a get, we'll be able to see the customer has been retrieved from the cache. Let's add the second customer. So customer number 2, and again, if we go back here, we can see customer number 2 has been inserted. Let's change customer number 2's balance. So let's change that to 6,010. If I do a post here, we should see an update event happen. Updated ID 2, there's the old value or the new value, and this is the old value. Let's look at all the customers we have now. So pipe that through to JQ. Now let's delete customer number 1. And we should also see an event. Customer number 1 deleted. Now when we delete customer number 2, we should see 2 events because that customer has a balance greater than 5,000. So we see the delete event here, and we also see the large balance delete event as well. So a simple application, but shows you very quickly how you can create a Spring Boot application integrated with coherence. Let's quickly do one more, and let's run the starter again, and we'll use Helidon. We'll now change to the Helidon directory. Let's have a look at our application. Again, it's created a POM for us using the Helidon microprofile setup. A few of the dependencies there, plus the coherence CDI server and coherence support there, which will help us to boot it. Then resources, standard microprofile config resources for Helidon application. If you look at the Java code, we've got the same Java classes we had, and we've got our API customers resource. In this case here, we basically annotate this with the @inject, and that means that when this is constructed, it will inject, the cache will be injected automatically. Then we have the same methods where we can create, delete, and update, as well as the same event listeners. So onday inserted, so slightly different annotation, but basically this is the way it works here. Observes inserted on the cache, observes updated, observes deleted, and then we can also apply the where clause. So let's now quickly run this one. So if we go to the README, you'll see how to run it. Clean install. Once it's run, let's run the application. Terminal, and we can create our 2 customers. Let's paste them into there, and we'll get the customers, get all the customers this case. You can see you've got the customers, and now let's delete those customers. So if we go back into here, we can see the insert events here. Delete customer 1. We can see the deletion there, and if we delete customer 2, we should again see the 2 events. We've got the large balance deletion and the normal deletion. So to save time, I won't do the Micronaut one, but this hopefully shows you how you can quickly create these projects. Hopefully you've seen how coherence can easily integrate with popular microservice frameworks through our starter projects. There is also more in-depth documentation and examples shown in the slide here for each of the frameworks. The to-do list example is a fully functioning demonstration application with integration with all the frameworks. Please see the links in the video description for more information. Thanks for listening.